If you have days you really don't feel like waking up, or you feel exhausted or desperate, this video is exactly for you. I want to share with you one thing that I did that made so many people, so many women ask me, how did you do that? How did you manage to lose 50 pounds? How did you manage to save $1 million? How did you find such a good partner? Something that works like a magic. I want to talk about how to wake up in the morning with so much enthusiasm, how to reach your goals easily, and to keep it on for a long time, the energy, the enthusiasm, and so on. But first of all, let's understand why. Why do we need to set goals? So the biggest issue is that people don't really have goals. What do they have? They want to wake up in the morning, eat, pass the time, scroll on Instagram, go to sleep. Sort of like okay life, you know, fine life, but not really. The thing is that they are on autopilot. They don't even notice that that's the situation. If people are asking them how are they will say, I'm fine. But actually, they wake up after a few years, they're in shock. How did I get to this kind of life? It's literally like driving in a car, but instead of being the driver and holding the wheel and deciding where you want to go, they sit at the back and trust the driver that he's going to take them where they want to get. And then they wake up after a few years and they're saying, hey, how did I get to here? And then the driver says, sorry, you fell asleep. Now, I know it because for so many years, I was just like that. I didn't understand why I'm trying to do so many diets and I can't lose my weight. Why am I working so hard but can't afford having basic stuff? Why it doesn't matter how many dates I'm going, no one actually fits me. I didn't understand. Now, also, if you're gonna ask me, I did have goals in my life. I had some crazy goals, but pretty fast after I had some goals, I used to quit, give up. I didn't believe to myself I'm going to achieve those goals. So most of the people don't really put themselves goals because it's scary. It's scary to point to where we want to get and what will happen if we won't get there. Or if we already put a goal or something, we didn't know how to get there. And then we saw other people managing to get there and we were like, how? What? Like, something with me is wrong if they can do it and I can't. Also, if we're gonna admit it, we're gonna realize that we really care what people think about us, what friends, family, neighbors would say about us. We really want to be alike. And at the end of the day, if I want to do a diet and I want to lose weight and then I'm going to big fancy dinner and I don't want to eat with everyone else because I want to lose weight, I will eat with everyone else just for them to like me. Or you know what? Maybe I don't even want to go to this dinner, but I will get there because what will happen if I won't? So most of the people won't even make a decision. That's actually the worst, because once you don't get a decision, you actually do get a decision of giving up. Once you give up, it looks like the easiest option, but actually it's the hardest, because then we continue the circle of gaining fat, of staying single. Why? Just because we didn't get a decision. So it's time to wake up from sleeping in the back seats and taking the seat of the driver and holding the wheel and getting a decision today. Where would you like to go? What would you like to have? If you would imagine yourself in your ideal life, what kind of woman would you become? What would she do in the morning when she wakes up? What kind of habits would she have? I want you to stop for a sec and look and understand. Now, instead of putting a huge, grandiose goal, like training 3 times a week, running 4 times a week, and waking up every morning in 5 a.m. and reading 3 books a week or whatever, all kinds of things that after 2 days you're like, oh my God, no thanks. Let's make a decision that we are working on your faith in yourself. Because once you're gonna see, you say something and you do it one time after the other, you will dare so much more. It's like getting into the gym. You won't at the beginning take the heaviest weight. You're gonna start with something you can actually lift, and then after a few times you're gonna lift it, you're gonna lift a little bit heavier, and so on and so forth. So I want you to take something you can take and actually do. So today you're gonna make a decision. You're gonna take one thing that you want to get better in, that you want to succeed in. Only one thing, and please put aside the results. If whatever you're gonna do is gonna help you lose weight or find your partner or whatever, put it aside. The most important thing is to make a decision and to stay loyal to that. The first thing is actually to have the ability of doing the same thing every day, every time. And this ability is so important, because it doesn't matter how will we get this ability. It's like when you learn how to drive, it doesn't really matter if you're gonna learn on Mercedes or on Toyota, whatever. Once you learn how to drive on Toyota, you can drive on Mercedes. So the idea is to find something small, so small, and to manage to do it on a daily basis. And I want it to be the first thing you do in the morning. I want to be so small that you're gonna say like, what? I don't need Illinois to help me. I don't need her to tell her every day I did it. It can be like walking every day for 5 minutes, reading a few pages in a book every day, or having a new conversation with someone new, or waking up every morning 10 minutes before the regular time you're used to, or just stay in your car for another 10 minutes and to finish something you're supposed to do. I don't care what it's gonna be. And then I want you to make a decision, and that's it. You don't give up. You don't change it every 2 days. You decide on one thing and you stay with it for the next month. And this month we're gonna work on your persistence of saying something and do it again and again and again until your muscle would grow and you can take the next weight, and then taking a bigger goal and a bigger goal, and to become this woman that people are actually looking at her, admiring and saying, how did you do it? How do you succeed? That's what I did. I decided on one thing and I managed to be persistent. And then after I managed to do it for a month, it doesn't really matter what was the result. I realized that next time I'm going to say something, I'm going to actually believe I can do it. And then I took a bigger goal and a bigger goal, and that's it. It's not so complicated. So come on, yalla. Decide on one goal, one thing you would like to get better in, that the woman you would like to be is doing every day, and choose, and that's it. So I'm waiting for an update from you to hear what was your decision. What can you say you're gonna do for the next month and actually do? Share with me in the comments below.